When we've seen you and Izzy at the press conference before, it was kind of well-mannered, and I think even on this fight week, it's not like we've heard like terrible insults thrown at each other. As you get close to the fight, how are you feeling personally about the contest?
Yeah, I mean, I think I know it's definitely personal for him because he took a lot of offense in what I said for speaking the truth, and he didn't like it. So it was never personal because there's nothing to be personal about. For me, I stated facts. I said what I said. It's 100% the fact. And he took it very personal. So yeah, he's angry. I don't care. And I mean, that's it. At the end of the day, I'm here for my business. My business is winning, not defending about winning this fight.
When you look at this fight, ignore all the other stuff outside of it, do you think this is almost a contest between two puzzles, right? He was considered this big puzzle that was hard to figure out with his feints and his movement, and now you've come in here and it seems like a lot of people can't even figure out what you're doing to be successful, but you are being successful. Do you see this as a clash between two men who can confuse most of the division, and it's up to the other guy to figure them out?
Yeah, I think especially at this level of the sport, that is what you get. I think that is at this level, when you're fighting at the top, champion and contender, you get everybody's fit, strong, good enough striking, good enough wrestling, good enough on the grappling. Everybody has aspects. Some a little better, let's say better in grappling, some are better in striking, but everybody's good everywhere. It's about who shows up on the night with the plan, and if that plan is changing, who can, like you say, figure it out. So you can look at it as two puzzles, or you can look at it as two great fighters, and we're going to find out who came with the best armor.
You're obviously going to prepare for the toughest guy you could possibly face, right? But there are questions about Israel after that performance against Sean. In your gut instinct and in your heart of hearts, do you think that was an off night for him, or do you think that was potentially the beginning of a new Israel that we're going to start seeing?
I'll be honest, I've said it many times in previous interviews where I said I think it was an off night. It was very evident in terms of how he fought, just the whole fight, you could see it. But then I fought Strickland, and my whole perception around that fight changed, because now I firsthand experienced what it's like to fight Sean Strickland. He's hard to hit. And, with Izzy, he doesn't throw volume. He throws strikes that, he's pinpoint accurate with his strikes, or at least he tries to be. He's more of a move, hit. And when he fought Strickland, he missed all those shots. Strickland is really, really good defensively. And that was, when I fought Strickland, I immediately realized that's what happened. I threw volume so I could catch him and I could beat him.
It sounds like, according to Dana White, Strickland's going to be next for whoever comes out this weekend. Is that a fight that interests you, or are you one of these guys who are like, like we hear Islam Makhachev, right? Like, I don't want rematches, I want fresh puzzles all the time. Are you okay with Sean Strickland, or do you think, hey, that Whittaker-Khamzat fight makes more sense to me? How are you feeling about a rematch with Strickland?
Well, the Whittaker-Khamzat fight, I honestly thought, and I actually said as well, I thought that was going to be it but I honestly don't care. I'm here to beat whoever. The fight that people want to see. That's why this fight is so great for me, that we're fighting Israel Adesanya, because the most people in the fight world wants to see myself versus Israel Adesanya. That's the fight that people want to see, and that is at the end of the day what we do. We entertain. We entertain the people, we entertain the crowd, and we entertain the people that buys the tickets, buys the pay-per-views, because that's why they do it. They want to be entertained. So for me, I don't mind fighting either one of those two, Strickland, Khamzat, or Whittaker. But all three of those fighters have the pros and cons. Actually, fighting Strickland, a lot of people want to see it, but it's a rematch. But I'm if that's the decision of the UFC, great, let's go for it. Fighting Khamzat, he's never been beaten. It's going to be a massive fight, just in terms of numbers. Great, let's do it. Fighting Whittaker, the all-time legend, Robert Whittaker, but it's a rematch. So there's pros and cons in fighting any of these three guys. For me, the most important part is fighting the best next guy.
When you guys are breaking down Israel, are you guys finding holes that you can exploit, or is Israel kind of, just a kind of well-refined fighter in there?
At this level, you don't see the holes, these clear holes in people's games. You just don't see it, because that's why we're at the top of the game. You do see places where they get uncomfortable. They don't necessarily make the mistakes, but there is place to force them to make mistakes. And that's what I feel we did with the Whittaker fight, and that's what we're going to do in this fight. We don't see mistakes and say, oh, that's where we're going to catch him. No, we see places where they get uncomfortable and you force that mistake.
What's with the taser in fight camp? So that's been a thing that's been happening for a while, or that because some people thought it was
Everybody thought it was something that's new for this camp. Not at all. It's probably been part of the team for 2.5+ years, 100%. But no, we never filmed it. I don't know why. I can see now probably why. The rest of the world might seem crazy, but if you make the mistakes continuously after he's warned you a couple of times, the taser hurts a lot more in the moment, but it's over quickly.
So when he introduced that to camp, did he tell you that was happening, or did he just show up with the taser one day?
Well, I can't remember the exact moment it happened, but when he came to the gym, he's like, okay, I got this. I just went, okay, great. This is it now. The idea has been set. We are getting tased from now on. Might as well get used to the idea. In fact, we've upgraded the taser now because we grew used to the old one. And he almost figured out it doesn't have the effect. Sure. And he actually tased himself. He's like, okay, this sucks, but it's not that bad. Get me a stronger one. And that's why we have the big one now. It's a proper one.
So last thing on the taser, like, what is it? Just like when your hand's out of place, he'll just like zap you? Or is like, what
No, it's not like that. He doesn't walk around just zapping people. He warns you. You know, it's not just a quick tase. It's a let's call it the South African sticky note. He tells you, Dricus, your hand, it's not high enough. You're not covering your face. And he'll warn you, and he'll warn you again. And then the third time, he's like, okay, I've warned you twice about this, on your stomach. And you just lie down, tase right under the foot, there you go.
Fair enough.
And he asks you, he goes, or he doesn't say anything, and he goes, stop. If you can tell me what you did wrong, I won't tase you. What did you do wrong? And I'll be like, my hands went up. He says, nope. And then he'll tase you and he'll tell you what you did wrong. So I mean, it's a great reminder.
If you win this fight, you'll have beaten 3 of the past 4 middleweight champions, the exception being Alex Pereira, who's obviously in a different weight class now. Where do you think this puts you in the hierarchy of all-time middleweights, even though you're just starting your reign here?
Yeah, I mean, if you put it like that, it puts me pretty high, but that's not how I see it. I have a lot of work to do to be considered the greatest, or even close to that conversation. So, you know, for me, this is, like I said, the beginning, and that's how I'll treat it.
Over here. When you were a challenger and you were coming up through the ranks, you were consistently winning, but it felt like you were never getting the respect. It felt like every fight was a little bit, the fans were like, oh, this one, well, he'll lose, and then it kind of kept going. I know you don't fight for the internet, you don't fight for their respect, but a victory over Adesanya, who was such a long-reigning champion, do you think that stomps out any disrespect?
Don't really know, don't really care. You know, for me, what I care about is winning this fight. You know, this fight is not any bigger to me than any other fight. Every single fight I fight, whether it was my debut, whether it's now, when I step in there, it's the most important fight, and in my mind, the last fight I will ever fight in my life. I'm going out there to win or die trying. Every single fight. So who I fight and what the internet thinks about it, that's got nothing to do with me. What's this? This is all the proof that I need. I don't need some internet troll or some couch potato to tell me whether I'm good or not. This tells me how great I am. Can I just say, Israel, stop searching for my Willie on the internet. It's weird. It's very freaking weird, man. Come on.